Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm joined by Otterly Insane, and him and I are going to be going over this stupid bullshit scenario that Phil's been dealing with Comcast here for the last 2 days. First, basically, we're just going to take a quick look at the DSP memology video, uh, just to go over what happened last night, and then we'll go over the video that he did here earlier this morning, like the update video, like everybody really gives a shit. And then we're just going to go over our theories here on what's happening and basically how easy it is to fix. Otterly, say hi to everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome Otterly to the channel. Um, Tell a little bit about yourself. How did you find out about Phil?
Um, I am a reasonably new um person in the kind of scene, and I think I found it completely randomly. I think I was kind of aware of him for a long time, um, having seen the incident and things like that, and other people talking about him. I think that randomly one of the kind of secret limited videos came up one time, and I was kind of like, "Oh, watch this! Out of interest." And I think um the fact that he's such a interestingly insane e-bagger kind of interested me that you know that someone effectively could survive like that. So yeah, as I said, it's probably the last 4 years or so I've kind of started to get involved. So I never watched him as a player before that, but as I said, probably seen bits and pieces of him um previous to that, but never paid up much attention.
Okay, awesome, man, awesome. I know, like his gameplay is just I can't watch it anymore. Like I'll do Street Fighter, and that's as far as I'll go for gameplay. I don't want to watch anything else because it's just boring. It's bad. And it's just watching him. Just I just want to punch my screen every single time I see his face. Like right now,
I
looking
think
at this,
yeah,
like. But so
I
let's.
think everybody's got to the point where they just really dip in and out. I don't think it's every respect for anybody that can sit and watch a whole stream of them and comment on it
Oh yeah,
because
yeah. I don't know how people can do that. Like
hard
I
work.
can. Like I can watch the podcast. I could listen to the react in the background because the react act stuff is it shows just how out of touch he is with reality, and it's just
Yeah,
funny. But his gameplay, like, yeah, I don't give a shit. Like that's just like the
yeah.
lowest form of garbage on YouTube there is. But let's jump in here. Let's listen to this memology video here really quick. We'll probably go 50% through the video because after that it's just him e-begging most of the time. So let's
Okay.
just jump right in here.
And on top of that, I can't really monitor. Like right now, if you guys were to contribute via YouTube, like if you were to do a
I
super
love the
chat or a
helicopter.
membership, there's a helicopter above my house, or get the membership, I'd see all that through the YouTube chat, and I'd be able to shout that out live. But I can't, like, tips. If you guys tip me, the only way that I can see that is by constantly checking emails, and my emails on my phone don't update live. They update like delayed. So the only way I could even see a tip is to keep checking, or if you guys say, "Hey Phil, I tipped," and then I know who you are, I trust you, and I'll check. Um,
Do you want to just
then we'll go
pause
from
it there
there.
quickly?
Yeah,
So I picked up on something interesting on this whenever it happened with his phone. He had cellular service turned off on his phone. So his phone, whenever he's at home, purely works on Wi-Fi. So I couldn't quite work out. Is that something to do with him not getting calls while he's on stream, which he has done in the past? Um, or is that just him doing just being himself, I guess?
I think it's his paranoia from the fact that he can't. Uh, he doesn't want to be interrupted while
Hmm.
he's streaming. Like it's his paranoia and his narcissism, right? Like his streams are important, and he can't be bothered during the stream, right? Even still, like he can mute his phone so it just doesn't
Which he
make a
has to have
sound, right?
done, yeah.
Like, and but I get that, like even with my parents, like with their cell phones, like I've got them two cell phones, and they turn them off because they're scared that they're somehow going to connect to something or whatever, right? And
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah, that's not how that works, right? Like, and but again, like he's connected with his phone to the downstairs
Yeah.
modem. And his modem upstairs is just primarily for his stream, his notebook, and his gaming consoles.
Hmm.
And then his phone's connected downstairs, so it doesn't interfere. Like the phone is gonna take down his entire stream. It's just fucking hilarious when I listen
Craziness,
to
yeah.
that. But like he's saying here, it's like his emails are delayed, and it's like, how the fuck are the emails delayed? Like,
He has an iPhone 6, so he probably
yeah,
has it set to low power mode because
yeah,
the
and it's
battery's probably expired.
yeah, it's never been updated. Like he had that Dairy Queen stream from was it almost a year ago now, when he was ordering
Yeah.
Dairy Queen, when he was cleaning out the closet, and his phone wouldn't work with the app or wouldn't work with the website until he updated his phone, and it was just like, you idiot! Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Let's continue on here though.
But it just really kind of sucks. This is why I don't like streaming this way. This is why I have a very set way that I do it with, everything here on the laptop going so I can see the chat, I can interact with you guys, and we can talk with each other. And then I have other things, the game here, whatever. This is why I have it like that. When it's not like that, when you try and use your phone and shit, it's just a horrible mess. Really. Ayúdame, por favor. Es muy importante. Crackerjack says I should spend time with Kat. And what exactly should we do with no internet?
Pause it there. That was fucking hilarious when he said, like, what are we supposed to do without internet? I don't know. Talk, play cards, like go for a walk. Like,
The thing is, he says in the evenings he sits and watches her play games. He could have done that. She doesn't need to be online to play. They could have played a co-op game. As you say, you can watch. You can talk to each other. You could have went for a walk. You could have went to the store. You could have done your grocery shopping then, because apparently today is such a busy day for him that he was still in the house at 12 o'clock. So
but again, like,
yeah.
this isn't normal, right? Like, you need the internet to interact with your significant other. Like, what? That's just
I,
any normal sane person would look at that and be like, dude, you belong in a padded cell. Like, I don't understand that. That's just, I don't, because we're normal, right? And we look at it like, oh, this guy's a fucking freak.
but he's always been a strange loner character. If you look back on his relationships with people and things that he says, he was always kind of the trying to be the crowd pleaser and stuff, which is a sign that effectively you don't really have any friends. You're a bit of a loner, etc. And he met her over the internet, so the internet's obviously a very big part of his life because of what he does for a living, etc. But it's how he met her, so I guess they need that to function. I get the impression that whatever time they spend together, which may or may not be a thing anymore, um, is literally spent in silence. Either him watching her play Skyrim or whatever she's playing these days, or them just staring at the TV. It's not a normal, healthy relationship that they have, certainly.
Oh no, yeah, I 100% agree with you. Like that, it just, I can't see like a normal loving relationship there. And I think with the community, I think the community agrees with the fact that it's a marriage of convenience rather than a marriage of love, right?
100%, yeah.
Yeah, because he wants to have that adult persona that he operates a household. He has a
He's got a
wife
family.
and his son Jasper. Right? So he's got to make that kind of like look like a normal family, but it's not a normal family.
No, and the fact that as the WPIG video today, that he had literally split up with Panda like a week. I think it's less than a week or maybe 2 weeks before he started talking to Kat.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
he
he
broke
just
up. They broke up
instantly.
in May, and then in June he was talking to Kat. He like
Yeah.
slid into Kat's DMs on like June 1st or whatever. And then by the 15th, she had filed the restraining order against Superman, and then the rest
all
is
happened from there.
history.
But yeah, as I say, the fact that someone in their 40s I don't know, is she a bit younger? I'm not honestly sure exactly
She
what
is
age she is.
33 or 34.
Um,
She's like 8 or
you
9
know,
years younger than Phil.
the fact that someone in their early 40s and someone in their mid 30s um, can't find something to do that doesn't require the internet is a very sad indictment of both of them, really.
Yeah.
You know, as I say, they could have went to the cinema. They could have, as I say, could have went and done the shopping. Could have went out and had a walk. As you say, they could have played cards. There's endless things you could do there. But yeah, he instantly dismisses it. It's not. That's not normal.
Or he could have got her to help him organize the office and clean the office.
Oh, that's never
Right?
gonna
Like
happen.
that's never gonna happen. Fuck that. Why do I even mention it? Okay, let's continue here.
Right? We can't watch anything. The only thing we can do is watch stuff on our phones. I'll talk about this in a second because I want to tell the story, and then I'm sure we're going to get into interaction and talking about it. All right, I want to tell the story of what's going on so you guys understand what's going on, and go from there. But like with no internet, there's like we can't watch anything that we want to watch. All we can do is watch it on our phones. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can't listen to music unless you listen to it on your phone, right?
Let's see. Johnny Soros says, what about the rule no glove, no love when it comes to sex? I think that means is get pregnant or get a girl pregnant for the rest of the ages,
It's easy for you guys to say, I really wish, but I have to work tonight. I have to work and try to earn money tonight. It's supposed to be a stream for me. I already had a very slow Mario stream last night. I was hoping to make up for it with Spider-Man today. We were doing all right. Then I lost an hour of gameplay when this whole thing happened, and I can't lose another stream.
He wasn't doing all right on Spider-Man. He was only at $30, right? Like, in that final hour, was he gonna magically get $120?
I heard that someone was coming right away with $120 and 200 gifted memberships.
Yeah,
But
like the Spider-Man
it
stream wasn't
wasn't
going
hitting
good.
50. No, it
Yeah,
wasn't hitting 50.
and then
Look,
on
a
the night
lot of
stream,
people
oh, go ahead,
are
go ahead, go ahead.
sorry. A lot of people are saying, that they think that he engineered this, um, because of the low support that this stream had, or that the daytime stream had been having.
For the pity
But I
bucks.
actually don't. I don't think it's true because um, the kind of sheer confusion that he went through. We've all seen the huh? I don't know what that means. Kind of fake confusion, but he genuinely, you could see the sheer panic in his eyes
Yes,
when it happened. So this is why I think this is 100% genuine, unlike a lot of the other stories, shall we say, that we've seen and heard over the last lot of years.
like when it comes to his like the health scams that he pulls all the time, right? Those ones, yeah, those ones are like telltales. He's been dying for years, right? Like, and everybody around has been dying for years. But I don't think he could pull this one off as a scam. He was too angry last night when he was dealing with people in chat. So when you see him getting angry and belligerent, you know
It's going,
that
yeah.
it's actually happening. Like this is actually going on. It's just his sheer stupidity and his narcissism and his ego, where it could be fixed in a second, but he's just too. It's not that he's
So
scared to do it, but
he always has to know best, I think, is
yeah,
part of the problem. But interestingly, whenever he had the problem, I happen just to I in the kind of evenings here, whenever his daytime streams finishing up, I would tend to just flick over and watch the last 45 minutes, just dip in and out of it, just to kind of see how things are going.
well, yeah, I do that
And
like last half hour and just see what's he at for tips or whatever, and just to see how
yeah,
angry he is, how bad is he begging or whatever, right? So
and almost straight away, someone had said to him, what they thought the problem was, and they said, oh, you should probably try and contact Comcast, and he was hyper toxic to them,
yeah,
and which again would suggest to me that this was 100% legitimate, because that's his normal reaction to something that he can't
control.
control, I guess.
Yeah. He's got to have that control. That's Phil Burnell, right? If he doesn't have that control, it's an immediate breakdown. He doesn't know what to
Yeah.
do. He's gonna lash out at anybody that says like one thing to him, right? Like he's gonna lash out at that person. And we saw that
Yeah.
last night, and we saw that yesterday during the day stream when everything went to shit.
hmm
Okay, let's continue on here.
By the way, as you guys are going to find out, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do my stuff for Friday. I can't right now. I can't even buy and download Alan Wake 2. So we got to talk about all this. You'll see. But I have to be here and I have to work. And hopefully, again, if you guys can support the stream in any way tonight, please, anything, membership, super chats, tips, please do. Tips would be great because I've had 2 straight streams where I didn't even hit the tier 1 tips goal. And this last one is not my fault. There's nothing I could do about it when it fucked up. You know what I mean?
Right here, exactly. He puts himself as the victim, right? It's not his fault. Okay, like that's kind of sort of true, but she could have fixed it just by power cycling the modem, and you refuse to do it.
But no one was blaming him for it. People were trying to help him, and he was horrific to them. And it's like, so technically, it is your fault because you've done nothing to fix your own issues.
But again, like I think like you look at his stream setup. If one thing goes wrong, the entire stream is dead. Right? We saw that with the capture card, right? Even though he has other capture cards that he could have used, he just installed the wrong driver for that Black Magic one that he had. He installed the Windows, he forced in the Windows 10 driver instead of downloading the Windows 8.1 version. It would have worked fine. The TV broke, but he has 5 other displays in his home that he could have used. That went down to a shopping stream and guilt tripping people into giving them money for a new TV.
To the important finance.
Yeah, and then he finances it and pockets the money. Right, his internet now goes down, and here we are begging and blaming everybody else instead of actually troubleshooting the problem.
The issue is genuine, I think, but he actually thought, and I think this is kind of like the tire thing, that he thought he could possibly monetize it.
Yeah,
and I don't think that went too well. As I said, I don't know. I know he didn't get a huge amount of money. It was
he only got
$40 or something.
$42, I think, was the night stream, just pity stream or whatever.
Yeah, what were super chats like? Because obviously,
He
if
got
you
like
want them
2.
to,
I think got like 2 super chats, and that was it all night long.
right, because just because normally that's how you monetizes these things, isn't super chats.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I say, it's an interesting one. As I say, the second stream, there were a couple of very odd things yesterday. The second stream just makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah. If the issue persisted, just stop. Just don't do the stream. Cancel the stream.
And try and fix it yourself.
Yeah. Instead, it just turned into a begging stream, and now he's begging for tips here in front of us. And it's like, how are these tips going to fix your fucking problem, Phil?
Yeah. Well, they fix some of his other problems, like his addiction, but
he can still pull those Hogans, no problem, right? Like
exactly. But the most bizarre bit about the whole day, I still can't understand this. He cut the part an hour before the end of his daytime stream, and then that was whenever he noticed the chat had stopped updating. He then asked around for 27 minutes and then stopped the recording after 27 minutes. But he uploaded that 27 minutes of basically an empty chair.
Well, he's got to upload that, right? He needs the views. He needs the time, watch time for those views,
Who's
right?
gonna sit and watch 27 minutes?
Oh yeah, they're going to fast forward through it, right? And he could have edited out using the YouTube editor, right? Like it's not that difficult.
That's work.
But that's work, exactly. He is not going to do that. That's why he didn't troubleshoot it himself. That's work, right? He's going to monetize it. You're right. He's going to monetize the troubleshooting, right? Anything. It's like, okay, Rambo wants to hang out. We're going to monetize that. Howard wants to hang out. We're going to monetize that. Panda wants to go on a staycation. We're going to monetize that.
Yeah. As I say, it's a genuine problem. He's done nothing to fix it because he thought that effectively he could monetize it, make a lot of money, because the last couple of emergency streams, the tire, I'm trying to think of what the one was before that. Oh, the capture device. Like he
Yeah,
made
the
a
capture
fortune out
device
of
and the
it.
TV right at Christmas time. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then that was just like, oh, the channel's in trouble. Like I don't have a TV, and it's like you have a TV downstairs. Well, it has bad input. Then what does he do? He goes and buys that Sony X90J that has worse input than his older TV because he
That he
didn't
still
bother to
reads,
read it, and it's just like, you idiot. It's got 8
and then
milliseconds more. Like,
he
great.
sits with it at an angle and can barely read text on it.
Yeah, he gets because he can't see. He needs to wear his glasses, but you got to give him that $50 to put his glasses on. Okay, let's
That's
continue here.
insanity.
Me. So please, if you could support, please do. All right. Stranger danger, you never would have tipped to begin with, so just enjoy your ban, because I'm not going to put up with your bullshit tonight. Jesus Christ, these fucking idiots. Yes, I'm feeling terrible. I'm obviously sick. Let's complain. In the meantime, by the way, I'm still talking with the chat rep. And just for the record, when you talk with Comcast chat reps, it's like talking to a very small child where you have to explain every step of the way, everything that's going on in very slow terms so they can get it. And they'll repeat and they'll reiterate and they'll ask you the same question 4 times and you have to keep answering it because like nothing sticks, you know, like the head of a child. Like you talk.
Yeah.
So he's just said there that he's still talking with the Comcast rep. What's he talking to them on?
Basically, what he did is he probably went on his phone. He's done it
But he doesn't
before.
have his phone there.
Well, no, this
So
he did this
laptop.
he did this between the streams, right?
No.
And
But he said there that he's still talking to them.
well, no, I think he's explaining how he was doing it, right? Like,
Oh, this is the story that he
yeah,
was telling. Right.
this is the story he was telling now, because he refuses to call. Like, Comcast Business has this special number, and I called this on the last Comcast video I did on Phil. This number here, you immediately get a warm body. You get a human being, and they go, "Oh, would you like to talk to business? Would you like to talk to technical support?" And you tell their technical support internet, right? They're like, "1 moment, please," and then you immediately get another warm body because you pay for that support package. It's not like a residential line where you sit in a queue for 45 minutes and you wait for somebody to talk to. The business support is there. He refuses to do this because he doesn't want to talk to
Was
anybody.
everything on chat? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because and do you know why? Because he's scared that they'll recognize him and basically tell him death
Yeah.
off.
Are you the guy? Like seriously, Phil. Like, you think you're that famous around the world? Like, you're gonna call technical support and there's gonna be a detractor on the other line. That's what he thinks. He literally thinks that.
It has to happen at some point, though.
Yeah, like
It has
it's just unbelievable. Like, he could have called this, right? And then he did. He broke down this morning. He called this number. But I don't think he
And
called
that's
this
when
number.
they
I
said,
think he called
yeah.
residential. Like, and this is what I don't understand, because the way he explains the story, but we can prove it wrong. We've debunked this already. You can instantly get a hold of Comcast Business. So
And
you're not
through to the
waiting.
right
Yeah, and you're getting through to the
place.
right person. And the Comcast business reps, like when I worked in Comcast, and like I've worked for Shaw, I've worked for TELUS, I've worked for IBM, I've worked for Comcast. Like, when you deal with business support, you're not going to get like the customer service rep you will in residential. You're going to get somebody that is actually knowledgeable in the issue because you're paying for that support. So they're going to have a proper support person there to deal with it. So they're telling Phil, first thing they're going to have him do is power cycle your modem, and Phil's going to refuse to do it. He's like, my computer's connected right now. I can't afford to lose it, and so I'm not going to do that. And we'll see that because he's going to be like, yeah, I do that with a downstairs modem, and then his chat crashes because his phone kept cutting out for whatever reason. So let's continue on here because we're going to get to that here right away.
Talk to them, it bounces right off. That's exactly what it's like talking to their chat room. And what's hilarious about it is you absolutely know that the vast majority of things that they say in that chat are just copy pasted off of like a piece of paper or a checklist. They have no actual understanding of anything you're telling them. All they're doing is going step by step through a checklist to either try to help you or get you to the person who can help you, but they don't understand anything. Okay? So the person who I'm talking with about this,
imagine Phil, who doesn't know what he's talking about, talking to a person that doesn't know what they're talking about. Right?
But everybody that he engages with in issues like this don't know what you're talking about, like the plumber for the sink or whatever it was, or the waste disposal. didn't know what they were doing. He just knows better than everybody.
Yeah, Lavinia
Uh,
with the fan and the mini PC. It's like, Phil, right on the
and the
website, it
cooling
shows
shelf.
the fan and the mini PC, and Phil's like, nope, doesn't have a fan. And AMD's built to overheat. And it's like,
But she was a sock account anyway.
yeah,
So,
it turned
and
out
he
that
knew
that
all
was
that.
Tevin all along and was just trolling
Yeah.
Phil. Yeah.
I explained the whole situation. And this is like 15, 20 minutes of talking. And finally, after like 20 minutes, they say, okay, so what I want to do, I want to restart your modem. And I told them, let's do the downstairs modem because I don't want to restart the upstairs modem. I might lose my connection and then I can't get on the internet again. So instead, let's mess with the downstairs. Let's restart the downstairs modem. Let's see what happens if you do that. They said they wanted to do that and check the settings.
Now, this is where I get confused a little bit. How do they know which modem is the downstairs modem? Right?
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to understand which modem is which. They're just going to be like,
Where
he's got two modems in his home. Okay, which modem is a downstairs modem? He'd have to go downstairs. He'd have to give him either an ID off the bottom of the modem or the MAC address for that modem.
I was going to say it's going to have some sort of line number on it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And again, like, if he's talking to business, and this is the other confusion part. I know because we talked about this earlier prior to doing the video here. He states he has now two business lines. I think this confused everybody, right? And according to the bank leads, one was residential, one was business. And we're now to the point where, so what, is he paying for two business lines? Because he keeps saying he's got two business lines.
So my understanding is that he always had to. Well, no, sorry, that he had the downstairs line, which was business when he moved in, and
Yes.
then somewhere in kind of 2017, 2018, whenever he moved to Twitch, he got a second line put in, which was also business. He has previously stated before that he had two business lines. Now, what that means with regards to him doesn't necessarily mean that it's business. The one upstairs might be business, but I honestly can't imagine that the one downstairs, if it's the original one, also wasn't a business line, because we all know that he has to have the high end stuff, as he always puts it.
Yeah, so he can flex on people.
Yeah.
But see, like, the one thing, like, I'm just remembering here, because when he 2 months ago, when he renewed his contract, they had to send out two techs because the one tech wouldn't work on the other line. And that's where we can't trust what he says, because the story changes every single fucking time.
He's the most unreliable narrator there is. And the thing that again, I'm not sure how it works where he is, but if he was actually serious about this, it wouldn't be two Comcast lines.
Yeah, you'd have like one Comcast, one AT&T.
Yeah.
Yeah. That way you have different providers. So if Comcast servers go down, AT&T servers still up.
Yeah.
So it's,
but
again, that's way above him. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. But people actually have said that before in his chat. And again, he's got horrifically toxic about it. In fact, I think someone did either today or yesterday. And he was his normal hateful self about it.
Yeah.
So they go to do it, and the chat crashes.
Tumblr. Cool.
Now, why would the chat crash? Like, and this is another one where I get confused. So was he actually connected?
So he must have been on his phone.
Yeah, but then his phone would have been connected to the one downstairs, and it would have been working.
It was the one downstairs that he rebooted.
Yeah, it's the one that's what we're saying right now. It's the one downstairs that they said they were going to reset, and the chat crashes. So he had to have been connected with his cell phone to the modem downstairs, and they must have been working.
Here's a crazy theory potentially that might explain that. It would be something.comcast.com, which would resolve possibly on local DNS servers, and the problem was with DNS servers further upstream, if you catch what I mean. So effectively anything Comcast.com is going to resolve in their little bubble of DNS.
So only Comcast was working, Comcast to Comcast. If you were on a Comcast internet,
Yeah.
you can connect to Comcast.com.
Yeah, possibly. That's the only explanation I can possibly think of that would explain that the chat cut off. Or again, I don't know whether if his phone's through Comcast, is it some sort
No.
of
He's through AT&T.
no,
Yeah, he's
he's
through
through
AT&T.
AT&T.
Yeah,
I
he's
was gonna
AT&T
say, is
on
it
his
some
phone.
sort of LTE over IP or something like that? But if he's with AT&T, I guess that's possibly not a
He
thing.
should be Comcast because he can get a discount. And his phone is only, I think it's $30 a month for unlimited talk and text nationwide. He pays $135 right now for that iPhone 6.
For an iPhone 6. Amazing.
Like, just think about that. You're paying for a phone from 2014. You're paying $135 a month when you could be paying 30. Like, that's just,
Man.
but it's Phil. He likes to throw money away.
Yeah.
Successfully flushed the DNS resolver cache.
Okay, this one's weird.
Okay? That's what it says. So, I go to the browser, I click refresh, and it sits there, and it tries to load, and this site can't be reached. It didn't affect anything. Okay, it did absolutely nothing. So then you say, type ipconfig/register DNS. I tried that. ipconfig/register DNS. The requested operation requires elevation.
Okay. This one is really weird. How did he flush the DNS without
being
elevated privileges? Because he's just doing it here, stating that he requires elevated privileges. And all that means is he needs to run with administration rights. So, like, I've got PowerShell open here right now, terminal, right? And that's with administrator. You can see it right here. So, and that's, like, in his start menu, because he's got Windows 10, it will actually list terminal or terminal admin or PowerShell admin. But how did he flush the DNS without being in elevated privileges?
Honestly, as I say, I was not aware that you could do such a thing without admin, but let's take a look.
I could try it here, but I don't want to interrupt the internet right now, just in case.
You can flush the DNS, or it says that it's flushed the DNS without
elevated privileges, but then
Yeah.
to register the DNS, it requires elevated privileges.
But what would register DNS do to fix his problem? Because register DNS would just put his machine on the local DNS server, which he doesn't actually have. Your router probably doesn't actually have a local DNS server.
Typically, you don't have to, but like I know a lot of troubleshooting steps do, and even like do like NetSH WinSock, right? They do tell you to do that when you're flushing the DNS.
Yeah, but the register would only really affect a machine that was on a proper network, like a business style network, as he would call
like
it.
something that would be and
on a domain.
Yeah, on a domain, and he's not on a domain. He's just using the regular work group, right? Like that's all he's doing.
So effectively, what someone's doing there is someone has gone on to the internet and has just Googled fixed DNS or whatever, and that's what it's come back with.
Yeah, and that's what it's come back with. I know that's what I'd recommended to Phil do, like release renew IP, flush DNS, register DNS, and then do the WinSock. Because that was always my troubleshooting step when I went out to do networking jobs, especially in like a business environment. But again, like we don't know how Phil has this network set up. Like there probably is no network. He's just probably regular domain work group and plug it in, hope to God it works.
No, all the machines plugged in, either physically plugged in or connected to Wi-Fi to one of the two routers.
Yeah.
Or both, on the case of the laptop.
Yeah.
So if I lift my laptop above my head and I type it, will it work? What the fuck does that mean? It requires elevation.
Remember, he's supposed to be some kind of specialist, right? He built gaming PCs.
And he knows selling PCs.
Yeah, and like he knows about all this, but he doesn't know how to run with administrator privileges. Like, come on, Phil, that's fucking common sense. Like that, even with OBS, you should run with administrator because Windows doesn't determine that rendering is a priority. If you run it as an administrator, then rendering is a priority.
But he never closes that, so
Yeah, he never closes it. Yeah, so why are we even mentioning that, right?
So I can't help that you're stupid and you don't understand intelligent like conversation and intelligent commentary on something.
Memology edits
criticism.
this perfectly.
So sorry that you're stupid.
I love these bits in between.
I own the laptop. Run the command as an admin. How do I do that? This is default. My default laptop thing. I haven't messed with it. You know what I'm saying? This is. How do I do that? How do I elevate? So I don't know what the hell you think you're talking about. You are completely misinformed. Okay? He does it, and guess what happens? I'm going to give you guys one guess at what happened. The chat disconnects. Absolutely correct. So think about that. 30 minutes talking to the first guy. I'm going to restart your modem, and then we'll see what's going on. Okay, please
Someone
do it.
pointed
Chat
something out to
disconnects.
me. I seen it on Twitter, and I now can't unsee it. He now has a twitch in his right ear.
Yeah. Yeah.
That it kind of, I can't even explain the movement, and he just did it there a second ago, and yeah, I completely can't unsee it now.
Jad pointed that out, or who was, I think, was it Jad or who was on with Jad there? Where they pointed out that yeah, he's got this twitch, and there's this nervous twitch in his ear. And you can see his ear just move by itself.
Like ripples, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's when I think that's one of his tells. Right? Like, you know, like you have that little snake laugh, right? Or like the nervous laugh when he does the little no, right? Like yeah, like that's his nervous laugh. Like he has his tells when he's lying. Right? And you can pick him up. It's like Cyrax, right? If you ever watch Cyrax content, when Cyrax closes his eyes, that's his tell for him lying. Right? With Phil, he's got that nervous twitch. He's got the goat laugh, and then he's looking all over the place. He can't sit still. But again, it's Phil. He's a fucking freak.
Second conversation with a different person. So I disconnected with the last guy. Let me tell you the whole conversation. Copy paste. Okay, I'm still going to waste your time, ask you all the same questions again. I answer them. All right, I'm going to restart your modem, see what's going on. Okay, do that. Chat disconnects.
So again, that's twice now that they've reset the modem downstairs, and twice the chat crashed. So he has to be connected, and I think you're right. I think it has to be the Comcast.com. He can connect to Comcast.com, or he has the Comcast app installed on his phone. And that's how he's got a hold of chat. But then it disconnects when they reset the modem.
Because the connection drops, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know. It's just, it's a weird scenario.
You can't make this shit up. And by the way, again, I can't speak to a human. There's no humans available to speak to at all.
Yeah, there are.
So you can't speak to a human about the situation.
It's
not possible.
Support, right?
All right.
Comcast has 24/7 business support. Comcast Business. And they have 24/7 business support.
But he'll never have looked that up or read anything. He just got it purely on the fact that this
He'll just
was the...
He'll just use chat.
He got a prepaid credit card.
Yeah, like he's so fucking scared to talk to a human being until he's really forced to. The only thing that's not open 24/7 is their sales, Comcast Business Sales. They're only open till 5 p.m. And I know that because I called them when I was trying to set up a fake line.
And I have no other resolution at all. Nothing I can do. There's no help I can get from Comcast right now. All right? So you want to know what I did? I closed the fucking page. I said, that's enough. I've already wasted about an hour in this chat. This is a complete waste of everyone's time. The chat is dog shit. Comcast is dog shit. I'm just going to try to figure this out for myself. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe my problem is I always think that it's my fault. Like, I think, man, the reason that this is happening is because something I did. Okay. Now.
So this isn't his first issue with Comcast. And he went through exactly the same rant previously, that they were dog shit and et cetera, et cetera. Why is he still with them then?
The thing is, when in his area, he doesn't have, like, he does have a lot of ISPs that are available in his area. The problem is that a lot of them don't offer the speed, even though like again his internet is
Made.
like he's got a really slow internet connection, right? Like he doesn't want to upgrade it. And when he had that option 2 months ago, when they offered him, it's like, well, you know, if you could pay this and get this, and he just said, nope, I don't want to jinx it, I don't want to change it. It's working fine. I want to leave it as it is. But he upgraded the downstairs line, which probably matches the line that he has upstairs for speed.
Hmm.
But again, like if you look at like even with AT&T, he has AT&T, but I don't like they don't have any fiber in his area. It's all coax. There's even on Comcast, there's no fiber in his area. It's old style coax.
But he
So
doesn't need huge upload speeds. You know, it's not like, you know, as you said, he's one person playing console games and streaming at a ridiculously
oh
high
his
level.
bit rate now it's 13,000 kilobits, so
Um,
13 megabits per second, right? And it's just like, but he's not streaming at like 1080p. He's upscaling,
yeah,
right? And it's just like
and
you don't need that bit rate, Phil. You don't. But
yeah. So why doesn't he just go with someone else if they're so bad? But one of the I wonder, does he not go with someone else because they'll have to do a credit check on him?
they will. Like I know here they do. Like if I want to sign up with TELUS, they're going to do a credit check on me. But
Which he's not going to get.
yeah, he's not going to get. They're going to be like, well, he's bankrupt. He wants a business line. Yeah, we're not going to give it to him. And I think the other issue is with this. I wonder if Comcast does hosting for King of Hate forums. I don't know
No,
if they do.
it's hosted on something
Probably
long
hosted on
before he
GoDaddy or
moved
whatever.
there.
Well, it was set up by who set it up? What was his name? Oh shit, I can't remember his name now. It wasn't set up by Phil. It was set up by somebody else, and Phil. It was a fan that set it up for him.
And then
Can't-
Phil took it over, didn't they?
Yeah, and then Phil took it over or whatever. I can't remember the guy's name. It starts with an I or something. I can't remember.
It's run on it's not run on a server such. It's just run, I think, as a forum on one of those servers, you know, that just provide forums. So
Yeah.
I would doubt it's tied
Yeah.
to his past in any
Well,
way.
he used to have his own website. I know that because I know Alt has done it on WPIG.
Hmm.
He had his own website where he just bullshitted all the time.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah.
That's certainly something.
In the meantime that all this is happening, all right, I tried the DNS thing. That didn't work. I tried talking to Comcast. That didn't work. All right. I actually had told everyone, well, listen, there's no way I can do a normal Mario stream tonight. I don't know what's going on with my internet. I don't know if it's going to go out on the desktop, but I'm not chancing nothing, right? I don't want to mess with the internet on this desktop at all, because I know if I restart, if I do anything with this modem, I'm probably going to lose my internet connection, and I'm not going to have it anymore. It's going to go.
How does he know?
Yeah, but the whole USP of the Switch in the current generation is it's a portable console that can be played without an internet connection.
Yeah, offline mode.
Yeah.
Right? Alan Wake, though, does require internet. Even though it's a single player only game, it does require internet access.
Yeah.
So
but
even if he does this, like that, he's going to talk about it here. Actually, we could probably swap over to the next video because this pretty much is just him begging for the rest of the fucking video here.
what's new there?
So we could swap over to this one now because he's going to say, like, Comcast gave him the 4G backup, right? Now, the 4G backup, its maximum download rate is 30 megabits per second. Its maximum upload rate is 7 megabits. So technically, he could stream on that. Right?
Yeah.
Like, he could do it if he lowered his bit rate, which he's not going to fucking do. And all that thing is it's just a little router, basically, right? It's a little router that has an antenna on it that connects to Comcast cellular service, because Comcast does provide wireless. And that's all it does. It just connects to a 4G tower. And he actually has an AT&T tower right outside the Snort Fort. Right outside the gated community, there's a AT&T tower.
That's what's causing the brain damage.
Maybe. Maybe that's causing his hair to fall out too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Technically speaking, he could have connected his phone to that and streamed from his phone, done an old style stream.
And
Set his
that's the
phone up
thing.
on
Like
something, and
he says he sets up the hotspot, but then he doesn't set up the hotspot. There's a weird. I think it's in this video here where he talks about the hotspot, but he doesn't actually do it to his phone. And I think he got confused as to what he was setting up.
surely not.
Like, because I guarantee you, if he hotspotted his phone, his notebook would work. He'd be up right away.
Probably, yeah.
But like, I don't think he knew how to do it. And I think it was Darish that was in his chat trying to explain it to him. I don't think Darish was explaining it very well.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, what's up? Phil here with an update, an unexpected update. As you can see, I'm about to head out the door and have a day out here on my day off from streaming and content. But I felt that it was appropriate for me to film a special video to keep you all in the know about what's going on with my current internet issues and how this is going to affect my content moving forward. I have many updates, none of which are great, but at least I have updates to keep you guys in the know. I would ask if you're a fan or a hater and you just want to know what the hell's going on, spread the word about this video so people know what's happening. So in a nutshell,
Why spread the word? Like, what do you think people are gonna come by and give you money? Like,
This video was purely a long form work up to a bag, I think.
this is like a daily wrap of the daily wrap of the day before. That's the way I saw this video. I was like, when they were playing it on TBS, I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm like,
Yeah.
who cares? Like, just go out and do your shit and get your fucking internet fixed. Like,
But this is about 12 o'clock his time, so this is like midday.
yeah,
And he's still not actually gone out for the day
Yeah,
on
it's like-
the day that he said he would be super busy.
when I have errands to run, like on the weekend, like that's pretty much my time. I try to shut off from Phil, except for React Day, like to hang out with Decepticon and watch that stuff. But like typically, like Saturday, I'll just work on videos or just play World of Warcraft. But if I have to errands to run, like I'm out the door at like 9 o'clock in the morning. I want to get my errands done as fast as possible so I can come home and fucking relax.
You can do them as early as possible, except if you're waking up in a gin-soaked haze, I guess.
Well, yeah, like he's drinking gin and doing Hogan pulls till 4 o'clock in the morning. Then he sleeps 6 hours and gets up at 10 o'clock.
He did spend $110, I believe it is, on Champions yesterday.
Even though the internet was down, he still got those fucking Hogan pulls in there.
You know it, man.
yesterday during my live stream, both modems in my home, because I own 2 internet lines, disconnected from the internet, or at least lost internet connectivity for about a minute. When they came back, I've had nothing but problems. Now, the weirdest part about it is that my desktop computer remains connected to the internet and still is able to stream and upload. However, there's been some updates with that, and I'll tell you about those in a second. But it still seems like that desktop computer remains online and is able to do functionality stuff for my work. Everything else in my house isn't working. This laptop cannot connect either to that modem or the one downstairs. All my game consoles are not able to connect to either modem. My phone, which I don't even have, I don't even know where it is. Oh, there it is. Also won't connect. It basically what happens is all my devices connect to these modems, and then it should go on the internet, and it says internet not available. If you look in a browser window, it'll say something like connection denied, or cannot connect to server, contact your ISP. So after
I've never seen that in a browser window. It's gonna say 404. Like, I've never seen a browser window tell me to contact my ISP. Like, sorry.
I'm trying to think of which error message you would actually get. But yeah, I think he uses Chrome.
Yeah, he uses Chrome and Firefox on his desktop, and he uses Chrome on the notebook.
He uses Chrome because he said then that its default page was Bing, which did make me chuckle. But
yeah, no, like I remember. Yeah, I remember that too. He says the default page is Bing, and it's like, no, it isn't. Chrome would be Google. Did you set it to Bing, Phil? Like,
they asked him to choose a favorite, something that he's famously not able to do. But yeah, you would surely get, site cannot be found or a 404 or something. You wouldn't get you're not connected to the internet.
Yeah, contact your
So
ISP. Like I've never
that's
seen
not an
that.
error message that comes up unless that's something that his router is doing.
And he's a Comcast router. I have it actually here. Like this is the modem that he's currently using.
Yeah, so unless it's default, whenever it can't get out, is to show a page saying contact your ISP.
Yeah, but like even with I've been with Telus, I've been with Shaw, I've been with Rogers, and I've never ever had an like if I've ever had an issue like where the internet was just down for whatever for maintenance or whatever like middle of the night, I've never had an
Get a
ISP.
timeout.
Yeah, like I've never seen something like go Shaw contact your ISP. Like
Again, unreliable narrator. So
yeah,
This, ruined my stream yesterday. I was doing a Spider-Man stream. We couldn't finish it. Last night, we did a 2.5-hour troubleshooting stream where, thankfully, my viewers and fans tried to help me. And I really appreciate that you guys came out and hung out with me for 2.5 hours and we tried to figure this out. Basically, what we've discovered is it's got to be something on the server side from my ISP. My ISP is Comcast. Because here's why. If I change my DNS server from the Comcast default auto-detected server to, say, Google server, which I believe is like 8.8.8.8 or something like that, I can get online, but it's incredibly slow. It doesn't really fully load anything. Like I can get to Google search. I can half load a YouTube page, but it won't load fully. It's a mess, but I can still load it, which means obviously this has something to do with their servers, and something happened whenever these modems went, lost internet for a minute or whatever yesterday and came back, something changed in them to screw all this up.
okay, so we can actually check this. So if you bring up, so this is what Phil did. Phil went into network and sharing, and then he went into change adapter settings. Here, properties, and then he went into here, and he went under. This is where I'm a little bit confused because he should be editing the protocol or IPv6, but I think he edited IPv4 and he entered in the DNS server for this here 88888. Now, it should have loaded then, but it was loading really slow. Now, you had a good thing about this. Go ahead and talk about this.
So it depends on what device he's using to connect here, but certainly yesterday, he had the laptop connected to both connections. So he had an Ethernet cable in from the upstairs connection, and he had connected it to the Wi-Fi of the downstairs connection.
Yeah.
So that's going to give him a connection to both routers at the same time with their own gateways, etc. Now, Phil being Phil, he'll have changed none of the network settings, which means that he will have two connections with the same gateway but different interfaces.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever he sets that DNS, he's setting that on one connection or the other. Depending on how those connections are bound into the machine, the priority of those may or may not be set correctly. So effectively what he might actually end up doing is flapping between those two connections, which possibly explains why he was getting parts of pages and then not parts, because depending on how the traffic's going out of his machine, it could be going out one connection or the other. Some could be timing out, some could not be timing out. So yeah, it's highly possible he's done that and made it worse. So technically speaking, if he'd have culled one of the connections, so if he's faffing about downstairs connection, pulled the Ethernet cable out and tried that, then setting the DNS to Google may have actually worked. Certainly that slowness and stuff that he's talking about would suggest to me as well that things are dropping in and out between different connections and the routing tables are screwed and things like that. So yeah, it's a hard one to tell, but certainly from the DNS point of view, Comcast did have some sort of DNS issue or made some sort of DNS changes.
Yes.
So some of the servers have changed. So they still have the same name, but the actual server backing that name has changed. So there's a different IP. So if he's having some sort of DNS issues with his connection, it's highly possible his router hasn't updated to those new DNS connections. So it's not resolving, which again is why Google kind of worked for him.
Yeah,
Be a
because the
bit.
Google, he's going to be connecting directly to an actual known DNS. Like
Correct. So
and because Comcast did their update, it's not picking up the new IP,
mhm,
and the Google is static. It's not going to change.
correct.
Yeah.
So just for those people that don't necessarily understand what DNS is, everything on the internet, it effectively uses what's called an IP address. So that address is unique to that device or a route to that device on the internet. DNS is domain name system. So effectively, it changes those IP addresses to friendly names. So www.google.com, for example, could actually be an IP address of 23.23.16.4. So it just gives a friendly, more memorable lookup on that. One thing actually that you've actually just sprung into my head there was that he, as you correctly say, he has changed the IPv4 DNS. That may work for some parts of sites, etc. But if IPv6 is also enabled, then and it's not working correctly,
Yeah, then it won't
is
do
that
anything. He
well,
would
is
need to
that part
change
of the
both.
problem?
He would need to
Yeah,
change
he
both IPv4
or
and
disable
IPv6.
V6.
Yeah, or disable. Yeah, disable IPv6. But then any newer website created, when did IPv6 go like mainstream? That
You'd
was
still have a 64 connection though, because lots of connections are still IPv4.
yeah.
So it should still work. But yeah, as I say, I hadn't actually thought about that until you pointed that out. That this all looks to be DNS issues. Whether that's still the issue, or he just needs to do something in his own house, or he's effectively destroyed the config of his network config of his laptop is something on top of that.
Well, I think like even if it does like, and we'll discuss that here shortly. Even when it is fixed, because he's changed his notebook, because he's changed the DNS name for IPv4 to 88888, the issue is still going to persist because he's still double homed. He's
Correct.
still connected wirelessly, and Phil's probably too stupid to know how to forget the wireless for within Windows 10. Right? It's very easy. Just right click, go on to settings, go to network, and
Actually,
then network
actually,
manager.
something's just come into my head. Do you remember whenever he spilled the water in his laptop
Yeah.
and he accidentally hit the wireless button
Yeah.
and it cut him off? So has he been running dual home for ever, effectively, in that machine?
Probably, and he always has issues with chat not refreshing properly.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's always had connection problems with the notebook.
Yeah, as I say, I hadn't thought about that until I remember whenever he, as I say, whenever he spilled the water and he wiped the laptop down, he hit the wireless switch and it cut stuff off. So
It depends
is the
though.
wired connection not actually working?
I don't know. I don't even know if he would recognize it.
It might say that it's connected, etc.
It
Um,
it depends if he's ever had the notebook connected wirelessly before, because he had to enter in his Wi-Fi credentials yesterday.
but that's why the water thing doesn't make any sense because it cut him off whenever he hit the wireless key, unless that wireless key cuts all network communication off on the machine.
Was just airplane mode button. He just
Correct.
doesn't know what
Actually,
airplane mode
that's a
is,
very good point. Yeah, that's
right?
maybe what it's done.
He might have an airplane mode button. He just doesn't
Hmm.
know what airplane. He considers it wireless. I have no idea.
Yeah, But yeah, that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Okay, so we tried for 2.5 hours last night. We couldn't figure out what to do, so we left it at number one. Today, Thursday, the 26th of October, I have to call Comcast and work with them to figure out what's going on, and I got to figure out a way to get all my stuff ready for Friday. Because if you don't know, on Friday, it's a big day for me. I'm supposed to be playing Alan Wake 2, the hot new release. 13 years we've been waiting for this game. How am I going to play it if I have no internet? Right? So, a few things have happened. First of all, last night, something clicked in my head and I remembered something. I was like, I upgraded my internet package earlier this year. And when I did that, they gave me a device that I never thought I would have any use for. All right? They actually gave me a backup cellular mobile data internet device for a business. Because, I'm on Comcast business account. They assume I'm running a store. They seriously assume that I'm running like a retail store with point of sale stuff. And so when my internet were to go down, this is a device that's a redundant backup. So you at least have basic internet in the case that your whole,
Yeah, we have this at the shop that I work at. It's just for e-commerce. That's all they
Yeah,
that's all they use it
it's
for. It's not meant for streamers, right? But they give
no.
it as part of the package.
So this kind of harks back though to what I was saying earlier, that he upgraded the line downstairs
Yeah.
and got this, which would suggest again that line downstairs was always business.
Yeah, like again, like I just don't know anymore. Like if he's paying now for 2 business packages, and it's
A
just
grand a month.
yeah, like well he said right now that the one downstairs is cheaper, but the one that he has upstairs basically remains the same, and he still pays the same amount of money, and then within 2 years he'll pay more, and then within 3 years he'll pay even more once he's out of contract. So they just suckered him into buying 2 business packages?
Probably they probably like seen who it was and went, "This guy will buy anything if we say it's high end."
Yeah, like it's like, well, you're a big businessman, Phil. You're a CEO of Burnell Productions. Like you
But he'll
need
have been
these.
bumming and blowing to them, when and how important the internet is to him, and he's this
But
big
again, like
YouTube streamer.
30
So
megabits down, 7 megabits up is enough for him to stream. If he set up his stream correctly without blowing his fucking budget on bitrate, he'd be fine.
yeah,
But it's Phil we're talking about here. He's got a flex 13,000 bitrate, 660p.
cable modem internet lines go down. So this device is like a 4G wireless device, and it is insanely slow. It is slower than my cell phones. It's slower than anything I've used in the last decade. It's that slow. But it works. It connects to the internet. So last night, I just hooked this thing up on a whim. I'm like, I wonder, could I...
Then if it's slower than his cell phone, why don't you just use your cell phone?
he
Right? Like,
Yeah.
like you know for a fact, because he's going to test it here and it works. He downloads Alan Wake. Now imagine downloading Alan Wake. It's a 100 gig download at 30 megabits per second. That's 3 megs a second.
But how does he know it's those speeds?
Well, he says here, like he said he was watching it, and it was like 30 megabits, then it would cut out, then it would drop down to 17, and then it would stop, and then it would come back, and it would stop, and it's like,
But is that because he's connected other things to it, and he's probably trying to consume 10 million other things at the same time?
that would be my guess. I think he probably connected the notebook to it, or he connected his cell phone to it, maybe Cat's
Yeah.
cell phone to it, right? And then it was just like, maybe it was too much for it to handle, because again, like it's not meant for
It's not meant for internet use. It is a backup. It's meant for essential
like
traffic.
e-commerce, like if you want to use your
Yeah.
debit machine and shit like that. That's what it is meant for. It's not meant for like downloading and playing video games, stuff like that.
It's certainly not meant for downloading 100 gig.
Yeah, 100 gig downloads. Like he says it takes like 12 hours. I clocked it. I think it would take around 5 to 6. But it's Phil. He's going to blow it out of proportion.
Well, if he was playing Champions and stuff in between.
Yeah, that's true.
I get this thing working with my Xbox and buy and download Alan Wake 2? Yes, I can. And I did. I have Alan Wake 2 on my Xbox Series X right now, ready to go. But it took over 12 hours to download it. It was like a snail's pace, and this internet connection is wild.
That laugh there, that's the tell. That's one of his tells when he's lying. That little.
But you see, as I say, I think this is where the lines between truth and the hardcore beg started to become very blurred in this video anyway.
Yeah.
That this is he's going to come on tomorrow and make a big thing of all the effort that he's had to put in to be able to download this game, and he hopes it's going to be supported. And we all know exactly where he's building up to.
What if it's
So,
not supported? What if he starts playing it and he only makes like $50?
What if he can't play it tomorrow?
Exactly, right? Like, what if the internet's not up and it requires an internet connection? Is he going to plug in the backup again and play off the backup?
Yeah.
I wonder if they give you a certain amount of data to be used on that 4G backup.
You would imagine that they have to, right? To stop you effectively taking that somewhere else and using it as a second internet connection.
Let's take a look here. Backup data. There we go. Just imagine if he blew the budget on the data and there was a cap, and then he's going to get like this.
£3
Yeah, he's going to get like a $3,000 bill. No data caps for internet customers. Okay, so he's okay. So he's safe.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Sadly.
so he's okay.
Wild. It'll be like 20 megabytes per second, less than a megabyte per second. 30 megabytes per second, disconnected, reconnected. It's a nightmare. You could never use this for anything consistent. You would never be able to stream on this thing. It's wild, okay? So it's essentially just a backup for very basic use. I left this on overnight. And overnight, I'm not even kidding you, it just finished downloading about 30 minutes ago. And right now it's 11:54 a.m. for me. So it just finished. So it took over 12 hours to download the game. So
See, his overnight, so is that from 4 a.m. to 11?
He'll have sticked around and done other things, yeah. He'll have set that off at
Probably.
like bedtime or whatever, yeah.
When he went to sleep, yeah.
Yeah.
that's good to go. I have Alan Wake 2 for tomorrow. All right. Now, this morning, I got up and I called Comcast. Here's the results of this conversation. Okay. Test everything. Nothing works. No kidding. Knew that was going to happen. I tried explaining to the person on the line the technical aspects of what was going on. You can tell when someone has absolutely no recognition of what you're saying. This person is not a technical person. They're just a line-level customer service support. Why they have no technical knowledge on people doing line-level customer service support for a business, I have no idea, but that's what Comcast chooses to do. So after over about half an hour on the phone of wasted time, essentially, the person said they're going to have a tech come out tomorrow. At first, they said they wanted a tech come out today. I said, I can't. Today's my day off. I'm literally within 20 minutes of me making this video. I'm out. I'm out the door. I have appointments and all kinds of stuff already set up that I have to do. It's my one day off a week. I schedule everything for my one day off. So I literally can't be here today, even if I want.
Why couldn't Kat be there?
I was just about to say, notice he said, I have appointments, not we have appointments.
Exactly, right? So Kat's not busy. Kat can be there when the tech shows up. Phil will not allow that tech to come in because that tech could be a detractor. That's Tevin.
Exactly what I was going to say.
Tevin's going to show up to fix his internet. Right?
Because it's the same with the plumber. The plumber could only come on Phil's day off, or whenever Phil was there.
Now,
even though she was downstairs.
The funny thing too is the fact that he is so detrimental on getting his internet back up, but it's not important because he needs to go to Total Wine. Right? Like if it's such a horrible issue, wouldn't you just be like, okay, the tech's going to come today. What time is the tech coming? He's coming in 2 hours. Okay, cool. I could run and do this errand really quick and then be back in time, and then I can go after the tech is done, and his internet's back up and running today. No,
can't disturb the schedule, man. You can't disturb the schedule.
You can't change the schedule. Only Phil can change the schedule.
Yeah, but as I say, why couldn't she go and run the errands and
Phil stay home? You're right.
Yeah,
you're right. Why couldn't Jasper just watch him? I'm pretty sure Jasper could do it.
Sorry, I've just also noticed the number of views that his video has here. This is the most watched video he's had in about 6 months.
Oh yeah, I know. Like this, and then look at the like to dislike ratio.
Yeah,
like that's insane. Like,
but if this was your business, if your livelihood, in fact, as he said recently, whenever he was begging for for tips and nothing else. His life depended on this.
Yeah.
You would find out, you'd say, okay, engineer's coming today. As you say, what time's he coming at? 3 o'clock. Fine, I'll be there.
Yeah.
You would change things around.
Or he can wait till the tech comes. Then he can do a stream tonight. And then go out and do the errands with Kat tomorrow, and then come back and do a stream tonight and do a stream Saturday or Friday night.
Or surely he could say, I won't be there today. Can he come out at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning?
Yeah, before he starts. Well, no, he can't do that. He can't get up at 9 o'clock. We've heard the horror stories, right? Like his health, he has to get that 6 hours of beauty sleep. He can't do that. It's too early in the morning.
Yeah, but as I say, if your business depends on it, make an effort. Don't put the onus on other people and blame other people.
Yeah, you're right. That's exactly what he's doing.
I can't. I have to go. So they're going to come tomorrow, supposedly tomorrow afternoon. All right. So here's the deal. Here's what's going to happen. All right. Tomorrow, I'm going to turn on my stream at the normal time to do the podcast. We're going to chat. We're going to talk. I'm sure there'll be game news and things to talk about and hang out. There's literally no reason for me to start the game because we're going to be interrupted at some point by a tech showing up to try to figure out what's going on with this internet. Okay. If I start the game, what's the point? You're going to get blue balls. I just start and then I'll have to turn it off again. Right. So it's going to be start up, talk, hang out, with podcast, have a good time, and then whenever the tech shows up, go offline, see if the tech who's here can figure out what the heck is going on. I'm sure we're going to be doing crazy amounts of troubleshooting and everything on both modems to figure this out and go from there. Then hopefully the tech will resolve it and we'll be back to normal. All right. Now, I'm going to see if I plug this laptop into that 4G backup wireless device, if I can get basic internet on it. And if I can, that means I should be able to stream the game and have the laptop with the chat and all your contributions working. It should be a normal stream.
Huzzah, he can ban people.
Yeah, so I have a sneaking suspicion now that if the problem's what we think it is, and it is affecting both lines, as I say, it's not clear which connection the consoles, etc., are connected to, whether it's downstairs or upstairs. But if they're connected to the upstairs one, I have a sneaking suspicion because that machine is doing nothing. It may not actually, the desktop may not actually be able to stream tomorrow unless Comcast come and fix this.
True.
Now it's possible because he never shuts anything down and leaves OBS up and running, that it is possible that it will maintain that connection and kind of hold on to the cached DNS entries.
What if he's just doing an unlisted live stream right now? Just to be sure that it stays up.
I find it odd because I did kind of think whenever he was having the problems, will he be able to upload the stuff? And he did. I was really surprised to see this video. But again, I guess we potentially don't know if that video was uploaded using the connection or not. He could have used that wired or the wireless 4G.
He could have. It's only a 15-minute video. He's only recording in 1080p, so it's going to be really small. Unless he just recorded a live stream again, like an unlisted live stream, and then just made it public.
Yeah, as I say, it's hard to know. So that there is a chance that he won't be able to stream tomorrow.
Yeah, there is a chance, but
I think that's maybe wishful thinking on my part.
It'd be hilarious to wake up tomorrow morning and he's posted on Twitter that he can't stream at all. That'd be fucking hilarious.
Yeah. But, the whole starting a stream, I know he goes for his half hour, whatever he does in between the podcast and starting streaming. But the whole thing of, if they're coming tomorrow afternoon, don't even start a stream. Just, this...
He's got to get the beg in there, right? He's got to get that pity beg for the pre-stream for the level 1 podcast.
Yeah, but
and he's gonna be hard begging tomorrow. We know this right now. Like he's gonna be pushing this disaster, which is not really a disaster. He's gonna be pushing this hard.
100%. Yeah, he has to because he needs 200 members and
Needs that tips money, man. Like he's
and that
bought a
tips
lot of
money.
games. He hasn't been making any money, so
Bought a lot
All
of
right,
pills
it's
in
bootleg as heck,
yeah,
WWE. Yeah.
yeah.
but it should be a
Um.
normal stream.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say I'd be interested to see is he able to come on, but I have a funny feeling because OBS never gets shut down effectively, it will maintain a constant connection to YouTube.
Watch Windows do an update. Just finally force an update through, and then it just fucks them.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Just middle of the night, just restarts.
Amazing.
Now, this doesn't solve the problem. You might say, oh, if that works, then just leave it like that. What are you, crazy? I have a whole internet modem downstairs that doesn't work. I have no internet on my phone. I'm using the cellular data on my phone to get it to work. You know, I'm paying for internet that's not working right now, so.
Okay. So he's hotspotted? So he says he's using his cellular data on his phone right now.
I think he means on his phone.
I don't know.
Hello.
He's just confused. Like it's just confusing. Like I don't understand what he's doing. He's got the 4G backup, and then he's on his phone. I don't know. I don't know.
I guess he doesn't have a clue what he's doing himself.
Yeah.
So his explanations for it, can you imagine being the Comcast person where Phil's
Just the
trying to tell you
rambling?
that you don't understand, and it's quite clear that he hasn't a clue what's happening. I feel sorry for whoever that person is.
We'll wait for the tech
Um,
tomorrow. That tech tomorrow is going to be.
but yeah, I wonder. Again, it kind of goes back to what we just talked about. Did he upload this? Are both connections down? And did he upload this using either that 4G backup or his tethered to his phone?
Yeah. But we don't know.
But then
Right?
he would pity beg for that. Surely that would be a hardcore beg because he's gonna go, "Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stream tomorrow, guys," which he does to an extent, but it's not as hardcore as you would expect it to be.
Yeah. 'Cause I think he knows he's going to be back up and running tomorrow regardless.
Probably because he knows it's something ridiculous, and they're just gonna go, "It's that."
Well, yeah, it's going to be what we talked about earlier. Like guaranteed,
Yeah,
it's gonna be like a 2-second fix, and it's because he refuses to do it. So, but we'll
yeah.
get to that here right after this video, really quick.
I have to have the person come and fix this. Plus, sadly, here is a negative update, okay? As I told you, my desktop computer is still working on this, but not the laptop, not the phones, not the consoles. Just the desktop is working, but not fully. This is so weird. Listen to this. Anything I do in my Chrome browser works, including loading my YouTube pages and all of that, it works. Okay? Anywhere else I go to, X, CNN.com, any random website, all works through the Chrome browser, all right? I also have Firefox. Firefox partially works. And what I mean by that is it'll load certain sites, but not others. I can't actually get I can't actually get Firefox to load YouTube right. I don't know why. Because usually what I have is I have two browsers, and one I'll have open DSP Gaming, and the other one I'll have open logged into my other channel, DSP React. I cannot get the DSP React thing to load, no matter what.
This is really weird. Okay, this is
So
the one that confused me a little bit because it would be pulling from the Windows cache, right?
so this is what I think we discussed before we came online. So something I hadn't realized, and I don't think you necessarily had either, was that Chrome, I assume Edge and Firefox, because they're all kind of the same thing now, um, actually maintains its own DNS cache.
Yeah, and I have that right here. The DNS
So
lookup and the host resolver cache. You can clear the cache, right?
so and as I say, I wasn't aware of this pretty much because
Neither was I. Yeah, neither was I. I didn't know anything about it either.
it's something that I wouldn't necessarily look at. So I don't know, are those effectively, is that using the system DNS lookup and then caching from that? Or is that a completely separate, so does this effectively go back to Google and query their DNS servers? But that certainly would explain why he can get to sites that are effectively still open, still active on his machine, but can't get to ones that aren't.
Now, apparently, this host resolver cache is stored on the system. from what I've read on this on the DNS resolver cache. So you have your Windows cache, and then
Mm-hmm.
it has its own DNS cache on the system separately. But wouldn't like because he never clears anything, right? Like he doesn't clean his temp folders, he doesn't
He
clean his
never
cache.
shuts anything
He
down.
never
Yeah.
shuts anything down. Firefox should have been able to pull from the system cache.
Does
and it's
Firefox have the same
partially-
option?
I would think so. Firefox DNS cache.
I say I was only making the assumption. Yeah,
Yeah, so it looks like it does have its own. It had.
I was
does the same
assuming
thing.
that it would be the same because
Yeah.
effectively they're the same inside.
And the file
Now,
system,
the one
the
thing is,
Firefox DNS cache. Yeah, so it would be the same.
he probably hasn't touched DSP Reacts from Sunday.
Yeah, that'd probably been the last. He likes to check his analytics, so
He probably does that in his phone.
yeah, probably through YouTube Studio.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, is that the reason why Firefox doesn't work at all? Whereas
even
Chrome,
says- But he said like he goes Chrome works mostly
for some sites,
for
yeah.
some sites,
But-
and then Firefox works for some, and then Firefox doesn't work for YouTube.
I think part of that is though that he will think that that page you get from Google when you open the browser, that's not off the internet, that's local.
Yeah. Like I thought, like right now, what he's explaining, I don't think he understands what he's explaining at all.
Again, unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
But I think it does kind of tie down to what we think it is, that both lines are effectively the connectivity is up so you can get to IP addresses, etc. There is no DNS resolution, or it's a mix between 4 and 6 resolution, where 4 is maybe working if you change it, 6 isn't. But yeah, as I say, to me, both lines aren't working. So technically speaking, if nothing is done, and he's been out all day, it is possible that the desktop will lose connectivity to YouTube.
Yeah, unless he's running a unlisted
Something
live stream
to keep that
to
alive.
keep it
Yeah.
alive. Yeah, then that's and like I think that's what people said. Like when he said last night about the reason why his desktop works is because he's keeping the pipe full, right? He made that stupid.
Well, he was
comment.
uploading all his shit last night.
Yeah, he was
as well.
uploading all his shit. Now, as long as he's keeping an active internet connection running, like he's doing something, like not just idle on the desktop. As long as he's
It
like downloading
should maintain
something,
that cache, yeah.
it should maintain the cache. As soon as that stops, like if something were to happen, like say Comcast internet completely goes down overnight, he's fucked. It's not going to go back on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then or Windows doesn't update, or YouTube, because YouTube only they won't allow you
Well,
to do the
YouTube's-
24. They'll cut off at a 24-hour period.
I was going to say YouTube cycle their connections, don't they? So
Yeah. Like you can't do a 24-hour stream anymore. They will cut you off at a certain time.
So technically speaking, if he's been out for 4 or 5 hours, it's possible that
Yeah, it's
his
possible it
machine
could
isn't
shut him off.
working anymore. Yeah.
But I try. It won't
I
load
would
it.
love
It
that.
says no
That'd
internet
be
connection.
hilarious.
How is that possible that I'm on the same browser, right? I can go to one site, but then when I try to go to YouTube, it says no internet connection. That makes no sense whatsoever, does it?
There's that Twitch again.
It seems
That-
like there's
that
a
ear
really
twitch.
messed
Yeah.
up thing going on. I feel like what happened is they pushed some kind of an update to both modems yesterday. For most people, it doesn't affect them, but for me, for my use, it does, and it's destroyed my business. Like I don't even know what else to say. But it's not anything I changed. I've changed nothing. It's it's on their end. They screwed this up.
There it is
again.
And now me and a
Nothing
tech
wrong.
tomorrow are going to have to sit here and put our
You
heads
did
together,
nothing wrong. You did
trying to
everything
figure out
right.
what in the holy hell is going on, and who knows if we're going to figure it out. Isn't this great? Pay for 2 high-end business lines of internet, and this just happens out of nowhere. And you might say, well, can't you get any more help? No, this is the help I'm getting from Comcast. Is all they can do is have a tech come out. That's it. They don't have anyone else who apparently can help with this kind of high-level stuff. They said the best thing to do is have a tech come out and hope for the best. So.
And again, they've recommended for him to power cycle both modems, but he's refusing to do it.
They also didn't use the term "and we'll hope for the best."
Yeah,
I
we'll
can
hope for the
guarantee you
best.
that.
Yeah, like what? Do you have a line issue now, Phil? Like they're gonna have to dig up your front yard and side drill in a new fucking cable line? Is that what they're gonna have to do? That would be hilarious. Where he's down for like 2 weeks. He would
Yeah,
freak. He would lose his fucking mind if that happened.
because they both obviously come in on the same connection, right? So
Yeah,
they're quite
it's
easy to arrange that.
like he says there's two lines, but there's not two lines. There's one line with two modems on it.
But yeah, there's one physical connection with
Yeah.
two. Yeah,
There's not two physical connections going into the condo. There's one line.
yeah.
You have two modems, but you call it two lines, and it's like that's not really two lines, Phil. Like, come on.
That's what I'm doing. And tomorrow, like I said, hopefully I'll be able to start up my stream normally and have a normal stream until the tech comes. Hopefully the tech and I can figure this out, solve the problem, and both modems will be working fine and we'll be back to normal after that. And of course, whenever it gets solved, I would love to get back up and running and play Alan Wake with you guys. But I don't see any point in starting the game when I know the tech is coming early afternoon. They're supposed to, at the earliest, they said they'll show up as like noon, but I have never once seen the tech show up the earliest. You know what I mean? It's probably going to be like sometime in later afternoon. I would almost guarantee it. So I guess we'll see what happens, right? That's all we can do is wait and see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully, everything keeps working on the desktop and I can at least get the basic stream going. I can start the podcast. We can hang out together for a while. Now, obviously, this is throwing my entire business into disarray. I lost out on over an hour of Spider-Man gameplay. I didn't get to play Mario last night. I don't even know what's going to happen on Friday when I come back and I boot this thing up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix it. I have no idea.
He made more money from the tech stream than he did with it than he would have with Mario.
Oh
So
yeah,
he's
definitely.
technically lost nothing.
And he made more money than the Spider-Man stream. Like that last hour, like what? Like what we said, we was gonna make $120.
Yeah,
And that last hour was OIC gonna swing by and be like, "Oh, stream saved. Here's
200
100."
members, $120. Yeah,
Yeah, like was that actually gonna happen? Unlikely, Phil. Like you were going
you were
to
finishing at that amount.
you were gonna finish with like $32 on Spider-Man, and then you made $40 on the pity stream in the evening. Like, come on, let's be real.
All right. So what can you do to help? Well, obviously there's a ton of content already you can watch, right? Like watch the stuff I've already uploaded. That's number one. Number two, if you would like to support in some way, please by all means do. I would really hate for this to, in the midst of the busiest gaming time of the year, to now massively negatively affect me. You know, which is going to be like, let me put it this way, all right? I'm very happy that I'm not in a
It is
position
amazing
anymore that I'm living
how
day to
he cannot look at the camera as he begs.
Yeah, I know. Like he knows right now that he knows
Like,
in
I
the
know
big
you've
brain.
paused it where he's looking straight forward, but if you just watch how little time he actually looks ahead while he's in that hardcore beg, it is
The eyes are
unbelievable.
closed. Looking away, looking away, looking away, looking away, looking down, looking away. Can't keep. There we go. There's a quick glance. Like yeah, like he and I love how this is already segued into fucking beg. It's like
Yeah.
important internet
What can
update
you
issue.
do to help? Yeah.
Yeah. What can you do to help? Give me money. Like,
Yeah.
like what the fuck, Phil? This is just supposed to be an update video about your internet issue, and you've segued into a fucking beg. Holy shit.
I lost out on over an hour of Spider-Man gameplay. I would really hate for this to, in the midst of the busiest gaming time of the year, to now massively negatively affect me. You know, which is going to be like, let me put it this way, all right? I'm very happy that I'm not in a position anymore that I'm living day to day. Because I was, very much so, a few years ago. I was in positions where, like, every day I was like, man, I got to raise this much today, or I can't pay my bills, or I can't do this. Luckily, I'm not
you've been doing
necessarily
that for the
in
past 3
situation.
weeks.
It's not that bad. The problem is, I don't want to go back to where I was. Do you understand what I mean? I've been doing good. I've been trying to pull myself out of a kind of a situation where that's the case. And if now I'm going to have extended periods of time where I can't regularly stream, I can't do my regular work, I can't make the money I usually make, it will put me into a bad position again. And I'm deathly afraid.
You're
that
constantly
this thing,
saying
the
you
way-
make far less than you used to. So how are you comfortable off now when you're making, I don't know, it's at least 30% less than he was last year.
Yeah, like he's still making like 90 to 100K.
I'm still making crazy money for
Like fuck, I would love that money.
literally nothing.
Like I make 52.5 a year. Like I don't make 100K. I got to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, take a 2.5 hour ride across town to get to work.
Yeah, the guy who still makes, as you say, he's making close to six figures for sitting on his backside for 6 or 7 hours a day playing video games. But he's just said he's comfortable, but yet he was hardcore begging for, you know, more last year when he was making probably 20 or 30% more.
Yeah.
Nothing he says makes any sense when it comes to finance. I've been doing a bit of looking at it to where money goes with him. And we
Goes.
know that all the tips go straight to WWE Champions and that Street Fighter game. We know that.
Yeah.
Um. So
The YouTube
yeah,
payment pays all the bills. That's his mortgage, his internet, his power, his gas, whatever. That YouTube payment covers
all the
it.
fees. Yep,
Yeah. Everything else after that, like the tip money, like
is
and
his to do with as he pleases. He thinks.
yeah, like my brother, like he thinks he's got disposable income, but my brother is in like he's got debt, right? If you have debt and Phil's bankrupt, right? You don't have disposable income, right? Phil considers his tips as disposable income that he could do with what he pleases. And if something goes bad, he'll just jump on stream like right now with the important internet issue and just beg. People will probably super thank him, right? Any super thanks in
I
here?
was kind of surprised. I did actually look earlier. I was kind of surprised that there was nothing there, but we don't know,
But
and
there
we
could we don't know his
possibly will ever
PayPal.
know if he's got tips. Yeah,
Yeah, we don't know, and he'll never admit to it. Sometimes he'll admit to like Jax Raxer gave him a fucking $25 bill behind the scenes, like once in a while that'll
yeah,
come out. But it's like
but
the tips are not disposable. The tips are not to do with what you please, Phil. Like he needs to understand, like what the side scroller says, how much money do you put back into the business? Well, none, right? Everything you see back here is either fan donated or cat, like cat bought him the ghost from
the Halloween tree just.
yeah.
I can't look at the Halloween tree like it's a thing. He actually defended it recently and went,
Yeah,
"It's
you
a
think
Halloween tree. It's not a Christmas tree. It's yeah."
yeah, it's a Christmas tree with red garland on it, and you put some vampire teeth on it. Like, good job,
Yeah,
Phil. Like, okay, whatever.
but yeah, as I said, I did a little bit of looking. I haven't come back with the final numbers yet because I'm getting someone to help me on the kind of taxes side of it because it's the U.S. tax isn't
Yeah,
something that's very easy to understand as a foreigner.
yeah.
But I can't see how he's paying the correct amount of tax.
He isn't.
Um,
That's why he's in the
bec-
tax situation that he's in.
but even now, when he's got some sort of light on him, surely from them, um, as I say, we're all 99.9% certain that he is down from the rafters, and that's all the tips money more or less. So he can't be putting any extra money aside for taxes.
No, like he pays that. His back taxes should have been paid off in December, but he's still paying them.
Yeah,
And it's just like, so what he's doing is he's paying those back taxes, but he's probably not paying his current taxes correctly. So it just keeps getting tacked on.
effectively all in finance. It's is way.
Yeah.
Why pay today when you can pay later?
Yeah. Right.
But yeah,
And
as I say,
if they audit him,
it's
he's fucked. If they audit him, he's going to get fucked.
well, all WWE champions has to be down as business expenses.
Yeah, imagine if
Has to
they
be.
go, it's like you've spent over $200,000 on what's this Scopely?
Yeah, or WWE Network or whatever it comes
Yeah.
up as.
Oh, that's business related. Like, could you explain that to the feds, Phil? Might have been able to get away with it during COVID to the courts, but the feds are probably gonna
The thing
crawl
is,
up your ass.
whenever he gets auditors out, they're going to be younger and they're going to be a bit more switched on, I would reckon.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
It's telling and how weird
But
it
yeah,
is
as I
that
say, I genuinely do think that this internet problem is real, but he's went away, he's thought about it and thought, how can I monetize this?
Yeah.
Like everything.
Oh no, I agree. He knows that he can milk it, and he's gonna do that. He's gonna that, and that's why this video exists.
Yeah.
It's going to be something that Comcast has never faced before. They don't know what the hell's going on, and it's going to be some oddball thing, and it's going to be a nightmare. You know, as is, I'm paying for the internet and I don't have it. You know, I have a modem downstairs, doesn't work at all. I can't get anything out of it. You know, it's worthless, and I'm paying for it. I'm really hoping that they're going to be able to figure this out tomorrow. You know, but I don't know. I'm skeptical. When we sat here for 2.5 hours last night and we tried everything, and the best we could do is connect via a different DNS server, like the Google server, and we could get Google to load and YouTube to half load, but it was slow and it wasn't really working. What makes you think that the Comcast tech, who probably never faces this kind of an issue, is just going to know how to fix this, right? Like, I don't have faith in it. I don't. I get the feeling this is going to be an issue. They're going to come. We're going to be here for 2 hours. Nothing's going to get resolved. They're going to have to escalate, internally search, escalate, and it's going to be, you know, I hope it's not weeks, because number one, I'm on my life. If this PC restarts or turns off, or if this internet resets, I might just lose connection and that's it. Now I can't stream at all, right? I'm lucky that I still have that connection working for some odd reason. I don't even know how.
That's the
but
best
it is
case
still working.
scenario.
But like I said, it's weird because it's like half capacity. It won't
Yeah.
load certain sites, like YouTube. It won't load YouTube in my Firefox browser. Why? Obviously something is up. Something's going on. You know, we're in a situation where at a moment's notice things could fall apart, and this is my business. It's not right. It's not right to be in this position. Who knows what's going on? No one seems to know. That's the thing. You know, like we tried to figure it out. Did Comcast screw this up? I don't know. So it's uncertain. Please, if you can support content right now that I'm doing, there's so many ways you can support my content: watching it, engaging with it, doing a super thanks on an on-demand video. If you look at the description of any of my videos in the last several months, there's always a link for a tip. You can send me a tip if you want to help that way. Attend tomorrow, and let's hope for the best to see what happens on the live stream, you know, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I'm already set back, and now there's potential that this week, this is a big release week with Alan Wake 2 and continuing with Spider-Man and continuing with Mario, that now I'm not going to be able to do what I need to do, you know? What I'm going to do, like I said, right now, I'm going to plug in this laptop over here to this 4G wireless device and see if I can get it kind of working, so at least I can have like a normal stream tomorrow. But that's not a solution. It's we figure out what is the root cause of the problem, because the whole thing could come down, right? All right, guys. So before I ramble on too long, thank you for watching. I'm out of here now. Like I said, I'm gonna upload this and I'm out the door.
Okay, so shithead's done here. That's pretty much it. So
So
go ahead.
uh, the line, you know, what's the Comcast guy going to be able to do? I suspect he might know more about internet connections than Phil, Jade, and Derry.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's not exactly much of a dream team to boast about.
Well, like we discussed this earlier. Basically, all the service tech's going to come in. He's going to unplug both modems. He's going to wait a couple minutes. Then he's going to plug one in and he's going to sync it up.
Yeah.
And that's all the tech's going to do. And he's going to do that up to both modems, right? And then it'll be back up and running.
If it's what we suspect it is, which is effectively stale DNS somewhere in the connection between those devices and out onto the internet through Comcast or Xfinity, then yeah, that's the most likely scenario, is that it's going to fix it.
Yeah. And the other option is what they're going to do is they're probably going to recommend him take the new XB8 modem, and they'll just replace the modems outright. Then he gets better Wi-Fi, right? He gets tri-band, so he's going to have 2.4, 5G, and 6. And then the other thing, like, I just popped into mind, because I know I thought about this earlier. He's probably running a single SSID for each modem as well, right?
Yeah.
So depending on how he's connected wirelessly, like his phone could be on the 5G network for all we know, when it could just be on the 2.4, because it'd be a waste to be on the 5G network. You'd want like your home theater or your game console on that. Not realistically.
I've been trying to work out recently from things that he said whether his consoles are wireless or wired to his network. I'm still not 100% sure, because he gives very mixed answers.
Well, we've seen them all, right? Like we've seen him wired and we've seen him on wireless. We've seen seen both, right? So it's like, how is he?
He complains about lag and things like that. If he's using his consoles wirelessly, then I don't know what he expects.
Yeah, like, and especially if he's got channel overlap, like because he lives in a condo complex, right? He's a middle townhome condo. He has people on each side, people across the street. The Wi-Fi channel is going to overlap, right? Does he know how to?
His routers are probably on the same channel.
Yeah, like everybody in the neighborhood could be on channel 6, and it's just like, well, then Phil change it to channel like 10, so then that way your signal's stronger, you get more reliable. But that's way above his knowledge, right? But
Yeah.
that's all I think they're going to do. I think the tech will probably try to talk him into upgrading the modem, and then all he's going to do is he's just going to power cycle it, and that'll be it. Now, I think you are correct with the double home. I think he's still going to have issues with that notebook
Yeah.
because he's changed the DNS server and he's got it wired in and on wireless at the same time. So I think that's really going to fuck him up.
Yeah. It's either going to work or it's going to descend into
It's gonna be
a
spotty.
level
Like
of
he'll still be
of
complaints like chat's not
interruption.
refreshing, and every single time that chat doesn't refresh, he's gonna
He will
be,
be so triggered. Yeah.
oh yeah, he'll be shaking. He'll be like, "Is my internet down again, guys? Can you see me? Can you hear me?" Right? But
Yeah.
I think you and I both know the issue. The easy, like Phil could do this by himself, but he's refusing, and then tomorrow the tech's gonna come out and just do what he's been told to do.
Is he refusing on the basis that he doesn't want to risk it, or is he refusing on the basis that if it fixes it, then he can say, what a pain in the backside it was to have to wait for Comcast to come out. If it doesn't fix it, then he can go, all Comcast are idiots. So he can benefit both ways by getting someone else to do it.
Yeah.
Whereas if he does it himself, he can't benefit financially from that. Maybe that's a very cynical view, but
Well, just imagine you're a dent, right? Like I know that's hard for us to do because we're not that stupid. But like imagine that all the Comcast guy like, and Phil's not going to tell the truth. We know this, right? He's not going to be like, yeah, the Comcast guy came out and just unplugged it and replugged it and it worked. He's not going to say that.
no, there's going to be a whole story where,
Oh yeah, he'll
they tried to upsell him, and
it's going to be like a Herculean task to get this back up and running. That's the way Phil's going to make it out.
Mhm.
But in reality it's going to be like, yeah, they came and power cycled it, Phil.
Yeah.
Like, you could have done that yourself 2 days ago, but you refused because you were too scared and you knew better.
That's the problem, really, isn't it? That he thinks he knows better.
Yeah, it's like, Phil, you couldn't figure out how to run it in elevated privileges, right? You didn't know about DNS. You didn't know about your IP. You don't know about the dual NAT. You don't know about anything about how your stream operates, but you're going to tell the Comcast rep how to fix it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just,
Uh,
it's unfucking believable.
It's just indicative of everything that he does, though, that he has to allegedly know better.
Yeah. But like, I think you and I know what it is. It's more than likely internally within the Snort Fort. There's an issue between
I-
both modems.
At this point now, yeah,
Yeah.
I do believe that there was a wider outside problem at some point yesterday.
Yeah, they did a DNS update
Um,
for their servers,
yeah, but
which
because
was,
he refuses to reboot anything, and he may not have rebooted anything to now, who knows what he actually did with the downstairs connection.
yeah, we don't know if the reset went through. Like, we have no
Yeah.
idea, just what Phil has told us.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that now effectively it is now purely focused on the snort fort, and the simple answer is just to turn it off and turn it back on. Wait a minute and turn it back on again. That's
Yeah. And that's,
effectively going to be the fix at this point.
and yeah, and that's the basic troubleshooting that it doesn't matter which ISP you're with, that's going to be their first troubleshooting step. Okay, I'm just going to get you to power
Always, yeah.
cycle. Like if I've ever had an issue with my internet and I've had to call in, they're going to tell me to do that. Yeah, please power cycle the modem. Yeah, pull the
Yeah.
power out. Okay, let the lights go out. Okay, we're going to wait a minute. Okay, now we're going to plug it back in, wait for it to sync up. And it's like, okay, is it all synced now? The light's white. Okay, perfect. Try your PC. Yeah, internet's back up and running.
The one thing actually that I assume these have some sort of web interface like most routers.
Yes.
Have they got them to even look at that? Is that going to tell you anything?
He said that he could log into the modem. He is attached, like he is physically attached. He just doesn't have the internet access. So like the router and everything itself is working, right? He can log into his modem, right?
But it would tell you if your internet connection was up, etc.
Yeah, but the thing
And
is
normally, it
like he is getting internet access, like it is
Mhm.
synced up. It's just that his PCs are his
the
hardware isn't.
DNS is now so stale on the
Yeah, like it is not giving him an outside connection. It's giving him an internal connection. He can communicate internally between probably his notebook and his PC, but he just can't get the internet access outside of his desktop.
yeah.
And again, him running a static IP on his business on we know for a fact he's got a static IP for his streaming. We
hmm
don't know if he's got a static IP for the modem downstairs.
Probably does because
I would assume he
that's a sign
does.
of a premium internet connection, right?
Yeah, like that. You typically on a business line, they're going to give you a static IP. You can request
Yeah.
a dynamic IP. I wouldn't know why you would, but so again, like all they're going to do is the tech's going to come out. He's going to power cycle, and then he's going to walk out the door.
Yeah.
And at the very most, he's going to replace his modem, which Phil should have done 2 months ago when he was offered it.
But it was working 2 months ago, kind of. So why touch it?
Yeah, like why? And that's been Phil's that's Phil's philosophy for everything. It's like, yeah, but you can get a tri-band router with better Wi-Fi because his modem right now is only wireless N.
Hmm.
And
The man still
this,
runs Windows 8 on his
yeah,
primary business
like
machine.
on his
So
primary
what do
business
you
machine running
expect?
Windows 8.1, like okay, but his new modem gives him tri-band with Wi-Fi 6,
Yeah.
Wi-Fi 6E. So he's like, it's like, why wouldn't you upgrade that, Phil? It's a free upgrade. They're giving it to you for free. It's better hardware than what you're using. And this is DOCSIS 3.1. The other one's DOCSIS 3.
Yeah. I'll still find something to complain about if they give them that.
Yeah. Well, I guess I want to thank you for joining me tonight, man. This was pretty awesome.
That's good. Yes.
Anytime
You
he's
did
gonna have an
right. Yeah.
issue in regards to his internet, I think we should get together and do a debunk video.
Yeah, that works for me, man.
And just be like, yeah, Phil, you're an idiot. Get fucked.
Yeah.
uh, is there anything do you want to plug your channel or anything like that?
No, I have nothing on my channel at all.
Well, you should probably start one up, man. It's fun. It's fun just
Yeah.
to sit back and insult Phil. It is a good feeling.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it on other people's channels.
Okay, so again, everybody, let's see what happens tomorrow. I'm gonna be glued. I'll be on bingo for sure, 100% with Jad. So
Yeah, I'll
we'll
be
we'll 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 see how this
eagerly.
shit show goes through. All right, good night, everybody, and again, Otterly, man, thanks for joining me.
No bother. Thank you very much. Take it easy.